Hello, Miss Blevins.
Hello, who's this?
Miss Hooker.
Oh, hi, Miss Hooker.
Hey.
I think that we need to talk about what's going on with the case, because every time we go in to see the judge, your department is like, we need to keep these people separate. We need to keep the parents separate. And, you know, to me,
and that's what that's why I had scheduled the team meeting for that you didn't attend last week.
That meeting's not to discuss how, that meeting's to make me sign a piece of paper that's not relevant to my family.
So you're saying, okay, so what kind of meeting would you like to have? Because I can get one scheduled.
I mean, how are you guys putting our family back together? I mean, it doesn't really even take a meeting to do that.
Well, we are providing, we're making sure that, you know, we're getting Leo schooling, working with him on the testing.
Yeah, but that's not actually restoring us. Do you understand?
And that's a part of the case plan that you say you're not working.
No, educating my children is not part of the case plan, because
I'm saying you saying that's what we're pretty much, you know, providing services to the children. You know, their schooling, any appointments they have to go to, but pretty much, as you said, restoring your family, that's a part of you working your case plan for the children to come home.
But how are you justifying making me do that when there's nothing to do? I can't give you my husband's medical records. We're separated. I can't make him do something. We're separated. I have an apartment.
But with you, you're saying, you already said you're working the case plan, but your case plan, even taking your husband out of it, the things that we did in the case plan, you said you're not working, but that's the part of the
No, I didn't say I wasn't working. I said they're already done. There's nothing else to do.
As far as what?
Literally, what are you asking me to do in order to get my children back? Like, specifically.
Well, we ask that the parents engage in their case plan.
No, I'm asking specifically, not generalized case plan, because
you want me to read the case plan to you?
I know what's on it. That's why I'm asking you.
Well,
there's nothing.
That's what we look at the case plan, as well as pretty much how you engage in your case plan and maintain consistency with housing, income, and things like that. But we have not been able to verify any of those things that you say that you have.
That's why I'm saying, you have been told that I have a permanent residence here. You have mailed me things to prove that I have a permanent residence here. You cannot include my husband in the case plan because we are not even living together. And as you know, the district attorney so eloquently stated, he's not the dad, he's just the stepfather. You know, I mean, the case plan at this point in time, there are policies and procedures that update the case plan or that change if something changes. And those aren't being followed because the case plan would be changed if they were. So, I mean, like, you guys are holding me to a piece of paper that A, is an unlawful instrument in the first place, and B, is already, there's nothing to be done on it. I've already taken online classes to prove to you that I am aware of how maltreatment goes, because, I mean, they were unlawfully seized in the first place, so I shouldn't have to prove my parenting. I've given witness statements to the judge to prove my parenting. If this was a lawful circumstance, of course, I would sign the case plan. If I had actually neglected and made my children dependent, of course I would be doing all these things. But due process wasn't granted, and so therefore you guys have a parent in this mess, a family that's not supposed to be in this mess. And I don't understand why you're trying to force me into this mold where, like, lawfully I shouldn't be in. That's the point, that's the thing that gets me the most, is I don't understand what you're asking of me to get my children back that A, already hasn't been done, because by law I have nothing to prove to you. Your department has everything to prove to the court. When adjudication came up, you guys were supposed to provide burden of proof, not cookie cutter the allegations over to a facts of finding. That's not how you make facts of finding. So I guess I'm asking, what are the ransom terms for my children being restored to me? because this whole situation is unlawful. I mean, to be honest, I'm even surprised that you put in the disposition report what you did, because you lied about me signing the case plan. And I didn't.
Okay, ma'am. Well, with the case plan, if you're not working your case, if you have not signed the case plan and you're not engaged in the case plan, we cannot recommend the children to return home.
Even though you guys seized them unlawfully, there's no reason for you to be involved.
Well, ma'am, it's been adjudicated, and the judge made that decision.
Do you realize?
Return the children home if you have not signed a case plan and you're not working.
Then why are you not giving me an updated case plan that actually adheres to my family?
And again, with the meeting we had scheduled, that's where we had asked you to. I remember I had asked you to talk with your lawyer, and that's when we were going to talk about your case plan and what you felt you didn't need to do.
No, you emailed me back and said that you didn't want to see the recommendations that I had.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
You want send it to your? Then I say send it to your lawyer, and then your lawyer pretty much give it.
I can forward you that email if you'd like. You said not to go ahead and send you the recommendations.
Could you send it to me, because I believe that I had another one that asked you to send it to your lawyer. That was later.
That was a lot later. You initially rejected my ideas. Miss Tyree, you initially rejected the plan that I had hope in that would compromise. I would be compromising my own morals and values just to work with you guys. And you spit in my face in court, is what you did.
Well, ma'am, I may have initially said that, but after I did state to provide your lawyer with that case plan, and we were going to talk about it at our schedule.
You did not say provide your lawyer the case plan. I will forward you those emails, because I hold on to everything. But I'm saying, why would you have not, prior to disposition, and I guess rehashing the past is pointless with you guys, because you're just going to keep trucking on with the unlawful, we don't listen to policies and procedures. I'm just asking you, at this point, right now, would you be willing to actually sit down with me and do the proper assessments, actually discuss where my children need to be on a permanent basis, and what you guys are willing to do to restore my family? Because if you're willing to, no, just hear me out, please. Just hear me out. You are supposed to, by the 1997 Adoption Act, provide reasonable efforts to restore my family. This is not a thing where I am supposed to have reasonable efforts to restore my family. This is not a thing where I'm being punished, or my children are being punished, or even my parents are being punished. That's not how this goes. I know the policies and procedures and state statutes. I have been agonizing over them for months now. I know how it goes, so you can't fool me in that. I'm asking you, would you be willing to sit down, actually look at how the policies and procedures are supposed to go, do the assessments, and come up with a plan with me? Not with me sitting there in the room while you guys talk about it, but actually with me as the parent who will have her family restored. Are you willing to do that?
Yes, ma'am. We can schedule a meeting to do that.
Okay. As far as if my lawyer's there or not, I've tried to fire him several times. Obviously, I can't get him fired. So whether or not he's there, I really don't obviously care. So you guys need to be communicating with me directly if possible, please. So I'm not gonna let him not be there, or him be busy be an excuse not to have this meeting, because my family's more important than his lack of concern for my family.
Okay, ma'am. So yeah, I'll get a meeting scheduled, and you'll get a letter in the mail that I'll email you when I get that date, and I'm gonna try to get it as soon as I can get it scheduled.
That would be great.
Okay, and also Miss Carmen is visiting with Ireland on Leah today as well. I was able to get in contact with her. So
that would be great, because that's one thing, I'm going to be honest with you, that just breaks my heart, that my kids are cut off from their family and traditions and culture. That's been something that I've really been dealing with, because all this time, you could be encouraging my kids to have those familiar things and familiar people, and they haven't been. I hope you never get to the point where you have a child taken away from you someday if you have kids. And you have to go through that because it's very hard. So I look forward to the actual meeting, and Miss Hooker, I will be recording the meeting. Because if you're committed to actually restoring my family, I need you to know that I have every right to stand up as a parent for what is said and hold you guys accountable, okay? If you're holding me accountable, I'm holding you accountable. It's supposed to be a partnership, not a Nazi tyrannical thing.
And ma'am, of course, we cannot record during the visits. We do have a facilitator during that meeting. She writes down everything.
She did not write down everything. She also works for the government, so.
You won't be able to record.
Well, we're going to. I'm telling you that I will be recording.
Okay, ma'am. Well, I'll get it scheduled and I'll let you know when it's scheduled.
I appreciate it. Thank you, and have a blessed day.
You too, ma'am. Bye.